Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Channel. Cheers to the playoff push. Hopefully, you are still standing. This channel is a supporter of Superflex leagues as well as 10-team, two quarterback leagues, just because they offer a little additional drama and fun. Adam, what's up? How you doing? Are you still standing over there?
We are still standing. We are fighting strong, doing wonderful. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Getting wins
Look,
where I need them for this
hey,
push.
I love it. I love it. You gonna make the playoffs over there or what?
As it stands right now, I'd make it in all of them. Well, the top
Oh,
three. Let's call it top three.
well, you're living a sweet dream over there. That's not too shabby. Alrighty, folks. Today we're gonna start with the rundown. We're gonna talk some bye weeks, some injuries, go over some positional rankings, and then also discuss some flexible options for you to start this week. We are headed to week 12.
Scary.
Week 12. You ready for the rundown?
Give me the rundown, Mr. Flexible.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab a hold of your seats and let's get through it. First off, what did CD and Georgie P do in Las Vegas, folks? They were benched for the first drive of the series of that game. I bet those kids had a lot of fun out there in Sin City. CD and Georgie P, you keep being you. Y'all are great out there. The Broncos are on an 8-game win streak after defeating the Kansas City Chiefs, their best win streak since 2015. Speaking of the Chiefs, Kyle, they are sitting at 500. 5-5. Who would have thought? Chiefs Ravens miss playoffs? What if? Josh Allen, you are a Superman, throwing for 3 touchdowns and running for 3 additional touchdowns. Even more impressive is fantasy owners who had you and still lost their week, like yours truly. Ravens squeaked by the Browns, and
Uh,
Myles Garrett had 4 sacks. One, two, three. Yes, 4 sacks, which was phenomenal, but the Ravens did squeak by on that victory. 49ers absolutely shoot the wings off the Cardinals and dismantled them as CMC
Brock
put up over
Purdy, the
30
return of
points.
Purdy.
The Purdy is back. CMC is back rolling again. Speaking of getting wrecked, the Jags dismantled the Chargers, who might have the worst offensive line in NFL history. It is bad. It is so bad.
What
Look
about
at the
the
offensive
Raiders?
line. No, Chargers are worse. There's a video out there where they go to the rankings. They have the bottom,
I saw it.
the worst. Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
it. Mhm.
Second to last, the Panthers are 6-5 and have a shot to win the NFC South. Who in the heck would have thought that? Not me. They have a chance to beat out the Buccaneers and win that division.
Crazy.
Last but not least, folks, Shadur Sanders finally got in the game, and he had an astounding 4 of 16. That's right, 4 of 16, and he did so well that he is getting the starting role this Sunday. So, Shadur, you have a chance to really get the whole game going. Let's see what you can do start to finish. Kyle, what do you think of all that?
All right. I think that's a great little rundown there. I'm participating in many of those things as I possibly can for fantasy football purposes. I'm going to give you guys some news here since you talked about NFC South. Michael Penix will need season-ending surgery on his ACL. Isn't this like his third one?
Yeah, he's done his knee in quite a bit. That's
He's
not
had
good.
quite a few of those. Anyways, in a quarterback hurting 10-team, two quarterback league, I did pick up good old Kirk Cousins.
Kirk, baby, he's
uh,
back.
it's a league where I have Jaden Daniels, so I need some support, and CJ
Yeah,
Stroud, unfortunately.
yeah.
Shedeur Sanders will start, like you said, this week. Jackson Dart going through concussion protocol, plans to return. So you're saying there's a chance. CJ Stroud will miss Thursday Night Football. Davis Mills to start again. Rogers, good old Rogers, won't need surgery, and he's hoping to be out there this week. How about that?
What an animal. Still
Fractured his
trying to play
wrist.
through it. Yeah, still trying to play through a fracture at 41 years old. That's an animal. I love that.
Jamar Chase, 1 game suspension after spitting on Jalen Ramsey. Come on, can't we just be adults out there, guys? I believe Justin Fields got benched for good old Tyrod Taylor. And Pickens and CD, you mentioned they missed some things and they set out the first drive of the game. And looked really good after that, honestly. But we're guessing they had some fun in good old Las Vegas.
A lot of fun.
Nothing that we wouldn't do. We would do out
No,
there though,
no,
of
of course
course.
not. Of course not.
Let's get into some bye weeks. Talk some injuries. Adam, who's on bye this week? Who's plaguing all of my rosters from not being there?
Well, my sketchy Dolphins, first and foremost, my sketchy Dolphins back out there on the bye. We got Chargers, Broncos, and Commandos on a bye this week. Good for the Commanders. Let Jaden get one more week of rest in. Other injuries we got going on. Bucky Irving, fantasy owners have been losing their hair over this one, folks. He did
Is
start
that
to
what your
practice
problem is?
last week. Well, not my problem. Other
It
fantasy
used to be
owners.
longer.
I cut it when I get stressed.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's just kidding. No, he did start to practice last week. I saw him doing some lollygagging and some warm up. So this week should be a full week for him to play. We expect him to play this week, and boy, does he need to make up for some of his lost time. Josh Jacobs, he went down with the knee. I mean, he went on and literally said
He's
how he
been
wanted to be out
battling
there.
this.
I know they need to let him rest. They need to shut him down for a week or two. They said it's not IR worthy, which is good for long term sake, but they need to shut him down for a week or two. He went out and said, all I want to do is be out there with my team, but it hurt so bad I couldn't cut and jump. When your player's telling you that, you rest him. So I hope the Packers organization figures it out real quick. Rest him. Let Emmanuel Wilson, who is one of our waiver wire pickups for this week, let him play. That dude looks like an explosive guy with a little bit of power behind him. So pick him up if you need a flex.
Be curious to see how he looks with the bulk of the work. It's just Josh Jacobs is so good, and Green
Oh
Bay
yeah.
needs wins. They need him to be the stud for that offense.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but at the same time, you can't put a guy out there that doesn't have a knee. So,
Yeah. So you think after Jaden Daniels on a bye this week, do you think after that, you think Mr. Dislocated Elbow's got a shot to return?
yeah, absolutely. I think he's got not only got a shot, I think he will return. A couple of factors. First off, being they didn't put him on the true IR. They didn't do surgery, which means that everything was structurally intact enough to heal on its own. And it's his non-throwing shoulder, which means you're going to see him out there with a big, bulky brace. Who needs that left arm anyway? Put him on out there and get him some quality reps so he can clean up this terrible season they've been having.
I'm just nervous because rushing is a big part of his game. How much is he going to be afraid out there and not his actual self if he returns with the big bulky left brace?
Yeah, I think players at that level, I mean, I'm sure they do have a little bit of fear in their mind. But, I mean, when you're playing at that speed and that level, you really can't be thinking about stuff. You're either out there and playing or you're not. I mean, if anything, it's going to teach him to get down more. But I think this kind of happened on a play where he kind of got down, so it's a little bit funky in itself. But get down, young man. You are thin. You are young. Get down or get out of bounds.
Yeah, he needs to drink a little more milk, I think.
He could use a couple protein shakes.
So let me ask you this: Commanders are 3-8.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth it to even play him the rest of the year?
It absolutely is. Even if your season is over and your playoff odds are gone, what we saw this year from them is that this dude still needs to improve with throwing the football, and the sophomore slump was real with him. So you need to get him back out there just to continue to hit for his development's sake. I think you have to. Obviously, you're not forcing him back early. Don't get me wrong. If he's not healthy, don't put him back. But if he can brace it up and he's good, get him back out there for some more progressive development.
Yeah, and if possible on a dynasty roster, I like him for a buy low candidate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you can get absolutely.
Okay, next up, we're gonna go through some updated rankings, quarterback, running back, diva. We're just gonna run through these. I'll kick us off. Quarterbacks right now. Drake May, #1 fantasy football quarterback. Wow, the hype on him is real, and he is a great quarterback. And the coordinator and team over there is very supportive for Drake May. Patrick Mahomes, better than we thought, I think, this year from the last couple of years.
Yep, way better than we thought.
Even though the Chiefs are around 500, he does have all his weapons now. So I would expect this to continue the rest of the season. Josh Allen, Superman. Justin Herbert coming in at 4, even after a bad week. This one's a little surprising to me. And a bad offensive line. Danny Dimes up next, surprising to everybody in the world. Stafford, old man Stafford sneaking up there. How about that at quarterback 6? Very impressive. Kudos to him. Again, that's a lot of, I think, Devonta Adams in the red zone helping his fantasy game instead of Kyron Williams as much this year.
Yeah.
Bo Nix, quarterback 7. Caleb Williams, quarterback 8. Caleb Williams, quarterback
That's a shocker.
8.
I don't
So
believe that.
all the hype about the offense, head coach over there coming from Detroit, he seems to be a bit of a quarterback whisperer. right? And obviously, there's a very talented receiving room around Caleb. Hurts at 9, Dak at 10, skinny Dak looking good out there. Adam, anything you want to say about these top 10 quarterbacks right now?
No, I mean Stafford being there is a complete surprise. Herbert being there, a complete surprise, and that just goes to show to your they got more weapons to throw to, and obviously Danny Jones, but he's been doing it all season, so it's not surprising anymore. But yeah, those are some shockers out there. It's very interesting. Drake May being number one has the juiciest matchup of it all, playing Cincinnati this week. So if you're going against him, pray to the good Lord because
Watch out.
he's going to put up a lot of points.
I'm going to give one more honorable mention. Jackson Dart is currently quarterback 13, and he's been out for sure. He didn't start the first 3 weeks, and then he's also missed another week with a concussion. So minus 4 weeks and still quarterback 13. Very impressive for him. If he's still available in any one quarterback leagues, stash him.
Yep, yep, without a doubt.
You want to break down running backs?
RBs, get yourself some curly fries, folks. We are starting with the top of the helm, which is without a doubt Jonathan Taylor. Kyle, is this guy MVP this year? Could they give it to a running back? Would they bring it back for him?
I don't know. Let's see how he finishes. But he's a candidate.
I'll answer my own question. They won't, but he should. At number two, CMC staying healthy and absolutely picking up so many carries and touches, the most touches in all of football. Love CMC. Coming in at 3, Devon A-Chain. Part of my sketchy Dolphins. That dude is a freak. And he's started last 2 weeks, guys. He's at over 20 carries. So he's actually starting to pick it up in the rushing aspect of the game, which is phenomenal. Coming in at number 4, Jahmyr Gibbs and those Detroit Lions. Number 5, Bijan Robinson. Is that does that make it him not being a worthwhile number 1 with him finishing on the in the
No,
5
I think
spot?
he finishes a top 5. I think that's fine. It's you obviously hope for a one finish, but anywhere in the top 5 with a first round running back, I mean that can happen.
All right, all
I
right.
mean, he'd
At
be a
number
lot better if Algier didn't scoop some of the TDs.
He would be. He would probably be in front of Gibbs, and yeah, that's all right. You're not wrong. The touchdown man himself, James Cook the third in Buffalo, coming in at number 6, still putting up a lot of touchdowns. He has slowed down the last week or two in terms of yards, though. Yards per carry the last 2 weeks, not so.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty.
Josh Allen is getting more of the touchdowns, is what's happening.
Absolutely, baby. And speaking of Josh Jacobs coming in at number 7. Absolutely a volume monster, as we mentioned. Probably will not play this week. Hopefully he rests a week or two to get that knee fully healthy for a fantasy playoff push. And a shocker, coming in at number 8, Javonte Williams, the Dallas Cowboys.
He has been on a little bit of a slide last couple weeks after a very hot start to the season.
Yeah. Yep. Coming in at number 9, Kyren Williams. Rams stud running back. I always love me some Kyren. And number 10 might be the biggest shocker on the whole list. Rico Dowdle. He might be the best running back in the NFC in terms statistically. What a shocker for Rico Dowdle. Good for you and good for the Carolina Panthers being 6-5 and coming out of the woodworks, baby.
Yep. Okay. One thing I was gonna say there is I was gonna give a shout out to Miami. They're on a little bit of a win streak and putting things together. That coach has got to be feeling good about what he's doing, even if he goes out. At least he's going out swinging over there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good way to put it. Going out swinging, they've won their last 2 games, so sure.
Next up, I'm gonna break down receivers real quick. JSN, no surprise. Jamar Chase, number 2. Amon-Ra, number 3. Puka Nacua, 4. Georgie Pickens coming in at 5. How about that? We were very high on him going into the season, and he has come. I mean, this is what you expected from CeeDee Lamb. And it's been Georgie Pickens. Granted, CeeDee had some injuries. Drake London, who did get injury, is at wide receiver 6 right now. Devontae Adams, wide receiver 7. And again, it's a lot of targets in the red zone is what we've seen. He's had 4 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. So he's been a red zone target for them. Michael Pittman, a little bit of surprise here as well at Diva number 8. Poor performance before the bye week against Atlanta, but the prior 3 weeks, this guy had over 20 points. And then Chris Olave, still doing it, getting it done on a bad offense. And then number 10, Emeka Egbuka. Obviously, the injuries to Evans and Godwin are a big part here, but this rookie has done a great job this year.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be a future face of the wide receiver core and the divas of the NFL for years to come.
Yep. And you want to shout out about those divas?
No, just commenting how much CD Lamb's injury benefited Dak Prescott and George Pickens' relationship together. Because I think without him going down, I think he kind of stays in the shadows quite a bit more. But since he had to be brought into the light, it just really helped that relationship. And that's a 1 year deal over there. So it'll be really interesting to see if the Cowboys do the Bengals route and they pay two very expensive divas in the offseason, or if they see how that's screwed the rest of the Bengals team and they let him go elsewhere. That'll be very interesting to monitor in the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just such an asset to the offense to basically have two number one receivers.
Yeah. But it'll cost you. And it's not sustainable usually. At least the Bengals are showing us it ain't because their defense sucks and their offensive line sucks. But
Cowboys
we'll
also
see.
acquired Quinnen Williams that from
Oh
the
yeah.
Jets.
Yeah,
So
they
I
showed
mean,
up and
Quinnen
they
Williams and
showed up in their
Kenny
D.
Clark, they are a formidable defensive line all of a sudden, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah. I wouldn't say formidable yet, but way
I'm not going to
improved.
say
Yeah.
much about the back end, but they
Yeah.
certainly have a strong, I think, a strong interior, and a solid defensive line overall. Okay, next up, Adam, let's talk a little bit of flexibleness. Let's get our yoga in here.
We're inflexible out there. That's a scary thought.
Tucker, Sean Tucker, Buccaneers running back. Wow, came out of nowhere. He did his one breakout game of the year. Is that all for him? Is he done? What's going on there? But we think Bucky's coming back?
Well, I think with Bucky back, that's going to be the top. That's the last of the top end you're going to see. Yes, is he still going to get some carries since he looked so good? Probably, but I think you got to give the meat and potatoes back to Bucky Irving to let him do his thing. But we'll see that after this week one here. Could Bucky come back off limited reps? Hope not, but maybe. Other flexibles. Running back for the Green Bay Packers, backup Wilson, Manuel Wilson. Josh Jacobs is down. This guy's going to get at least 12 to 15 carries this week. So definitely a flexible spot. And then someone that I like in the wide receiver position, Alec Pierce, Indianapolis Colts. Why, you might ask? Well, because in the last 4 weeks, he's had a total of 35 targets. So he's getting about 7 to 8 targets a game in the last 4 weeks. And it's a really good high-powered offense. So I picked him up just because I need to flex him this week.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, I like that. Of course, the Green Bay running back, if for sure Jacobs is out, Wilson is immediately flexible, borderline RB2, in my opinion, borderline. We'll have to see how he does with a full workload.
Yeah,
I got for you guys, if anyone has dropped Omarion Hampton,
I hope not.
scoop him because after the bye, there's a shot he is coming back. Also, Trey Benson, Cardinals running back. He is going to be returning soon, we all hope. If he's available, he is worth a scoop and stash. Christian Watson, Green Bay receiver. We finally have a Green Bay receiver starting to outperform, and it's Christian Watson. To
Who would have
all of our
thought?
Packer fans, complete and utter disbelief. That is what has happened. Can he remain consistent? I think if you need a pinch in a deeper league and he's available, I think he's certainly flexible right now. When they
You know,
get
to
what's that?
to that consistent point, when he hasn't been consistent, it's due to injury. It's never been usually due to his performance. It's due to hamstring pulls, hamstring tears, ACL tears. So if he can stay healthy, I think he can stay consistent. It's just can he stay healthy?
I mean, there was tons of games. It was there last year or the year before when he was healthy, where he would put up duds, and then he would have a big game.
Sure.
So within the last 4 weeks, he had 4 catches last week, 2 catches the week before, 2 catches the week before, 4 catches the week before. So on those 2 catch weeks, I mean, you can't count on that, right? And even on the
Touchdown or
four
bust,
the
baby.
4 catch weeks, he's only fell in the end zone twice in the last 4 weeks, and they were both last week. So he really is kind of a boomer bust player.
Yeah.
However, with what's happening there, you got to think they're going to try and at least get him another 4 catches, at least maybe more, maybe some additional targets, because he was a bright spot in the receiving offense for Green Bay last week for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's more love in the offense. It's got to figure out more than it's on Watson right now. You got to get him more targets and you got to figure out that offense as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, and I could see him being part of the solution to that offense. Someone who can
Absolutely.
take the top off, get a little more breathing room for everybody else underneath, and just overall help out LaFleur's plan and the offense a little better. Dobbs is still a good move the chains guy underneath. Obviously, they lost the tight end. That hurts. They picked up another guy. Was it Smythe or Wiley or something? They picked up another tight end who actually fell in the end zone last week. So I think they got a lot of stuff that can happen underneath. You still have Golden. I'd like to see him stretch the field a little bit better, but he's still only getting used in like short yardage stuff from what I see.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
And then next up, Ricky P. The return of Brock Purdy last week brought George Kittle back in as an elite tight end, and I think that will probably continue the second half of the year. Those guys have a great connection. And I last week Ricky P's return, he obviously didn't do anything, but I think going forward, he's certainly someone that could be flexible for a deeper league format.
Yeah, there's starting to be a lot of as he comes back. There's starting to be a lot of mouths to now feed in that passing attack between Kittle, CMC, Juwan, and then a couple of other lower end receivers out there. Which begs the question: where's Ayuk gonna go? It sounds like he ain't gonna come back to the 49ers.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think they've opened up his 21-day return window yet or not. That's
I
something
think
to
they're gonna.
monitor though as well for
I think
people.
they're gonna try and ship him off because they paid him a lot of money and they now no longer maybe need him. So I think you ship him off to someone that needs the number one and you let them swallow that contract because it is thick.
Yeah. Okay. There's some flexible options for you guys out there.
Oh
Pro
yeah.
tips. Pro tips. If you're the trade deadlines are like approaching now, depending on your league.
Yep, 1 to 2 weeks.
Look at playoff schedules. Look ahead of time. See who's got some juicy matchups. Trade for those players if you can. As an example, I've tried to trade away Genty because he has a very difficult schedule coming up. And guys, I've tried to trade for were Derrick Henry. I think he could be strong second half of this last push here into the playoffs. Adam, you got any of those guys?
Nope, I do not.
All
Good
right.
on any of
You
them.
got anything else for a week 11 recap and a week 12 prediction here?
3 weeks to the playoffs, folks. 3 weeks to the playoffs. The season has come and it is going. Enjoy it. Get some last minute trades out there. Let's get some playoff victories.
Sounds good. Cheers to the playoffs. Thanks you guys for tuning in to the Fans Football Channel. We'll catch you in the next one.